When you first retire, everything feels just different. Your schedule changes, the income changes, just the rhythm of your days change. Even time feels different. And for a while, it can feel kind of unsteady. You might have the numbers, you might even have a plan, but something still feels, unfamiliar. And then slowly, almost quietly, something shifts. You settle down. Not in a dramatic fireworks kind of way, just in small, ordinary ways. Today I want to talk about the funny little signs that you're actually adjusted to retirement more than you think, even if you don't realize it. Because sometimes the biggest sign that you're okay is that life just feels normal again. Welcome back, folks. By the way, my name is Brian, and on this channel we talk about real retirement. Not the glossy version, not the extreme version, just the reality people actually experience once the paycheck stops version. How's that? So if you're planning retirement, or you're already here, and you want clarity instead of stress, folks, I think you're really in the right spot. So here we go. Number one, you check the mail like it's an event. Now let's be honest. There was a time, especially early on, when checking the mail felt dead serious. Is there a statement in there? Oh my God, another bill? Something unexpected, I'm sure. When you transition from earning income to living off of it, your awareness goes way up. Every envelope feels important. But then something changes. You still check the mail. You might even look forward to it a little bit, but it doesn't feel threatening anymore. It just feels like part of the day. Folks, that's not small. That's your nervous system adjusting. Living on retirement income, it's a psychological shift. For 40 years or more, money flowed in. Now it's flowing differently. And when the mailbox stops feeling like a test and it starts feeling ordinary again, that's a sign of stability. You're no longer bracing. You're actually living. I'm even disappointed when the mailbox empty sometimes. Number two, you have a favorite grocery store cashier. Raise your hand if this is you. You know their name. They know your name. You talk about produce prices like it's a market analysis or something. And here's what's happening really underneath. Early in retirement, every grocery store trip can feel like a test. Is this too much? Should I cut back? Is this my new normal now? Folks, now you're recalibrating. You're learning what your spending actually looks like without a paycheck. But after a while, you know what a typical week costs. You know what a normal cart feels like. You're not guessing anymore. You've built rhythm, and rhythm creates confidence. When grocery shopping just feels like Tuesday, that's adjustment. That's comfort. That's you understanding your cash flow instead of fearing it. Number three, you know the senior discount days. And no, this isn't about being cheap. It's about being aware, really. There's something powerful about knowing, oh, that's the day they offer 10% off. You're not scrambling. You're not anxious anymore. You're just optimizing gently, really. There's a big difference between restriction and awareness. Restriction feels tight. Awareness feels calm. And when you start using discounts, not out of fear, but out of wisdom, really, that's maturity in retirement, folks. It means you understand your money. You respect it. But you're not afraid of it. And that's a big shift because early on, a lot of retirees are afraid of making mistakes. Later, we're just managing life now. Number four, you've rearranged the garage at least once, or the closet, or the filing cabinet, or the kitchen drawers, or in my case, the 10 by 10 storage shed that my wife's trying to take over. Retirement does something interesting. It gives you space. And when we get space, we reorganize it. But here's the part most people miss. When your physical space starts feeling more organized, it's usually because your life is starting to feel more organized also. Early retirement can feel cluttered mentally. New routines, new income, new identity. But once you've been in it for a while, you simplify. You close accounts you don't need. You cancel subscriptions. Yeah, remember those streaming services we talked about? You consolidate things. You build simple systems, just like rearranging the garage. You're not trying to control everything anymore. You're just trying to make it functional. And that's settling in, getting comfortable. Number 5, you care deeply about the weather. And I had to include this one. You know the forecast 3 days in advance. You've got opinions about humidity. And boy, do I have opinions about humidity. And it's not because you're bored. It's because your life's no longer dictated by work. You notice your surroundings more. You move slower, really. You plan your week around comfort instead of deadlines. And financially, that shift matters. You're not rushing decisions anymore. You're not reacting quickly. You're thinking long term. You're actually pacing yourself, and pacing's a sign of confidence. Number 6, Tuesdays, they feel like Saturdays. This one confuses people at first. You know, the loss of structure can feel unsettling, but then eventually you create your new structure, your own structure. Maybe you walk in the mornings. Maybe you volunteer once a week. Maybe you've got a standing coffee date. You know, when days stop feeling chaotic and start feeling intentionally steady, folks, that's not boredom, that's balance. And financially, it's the same. Your spending smooths out. Your income rhythm feels predictable now. You're no longer checking numbers every day. Folks, you trust your plan more. That trust doesn't come from perfection. It comes from repetition. From months of seeing, okay, we're fine. Now here's the bigger picture. Settling into retirement, it doesn't happen in one big moment. It doesn't happen the day you get your first Social Security check. It doesn't even happen the day you roll over your 401k. Folks, it happens in quiet, ordinary ways. When the mailbox feels normal. When grocery shopping feels routine again. When you know your discount days. When your garage is reorganized. When Tuesdays feel steady. Folks, those aren't small things. Those are signs of stability. And stability is underrated. A lot of the people I talk to, they think something's wrong because retirement doesn't feel dramatic. But calm is not a problem. Ordinary is not failure. Steady is not boring. Steady is secure, folks. And if you recognize yourself in even a couple of these, that might mean you're adjusting better than you think. Not perfectly, just steadily. And steady wins in retirement. So really, folks, if this felt familiar to you, I'd love to hear it. What was the moment you realized retirement felt normal again? And if you ever feel like, buying me a cup of coffee to support the channel, that link's in the description. But for now, thanks for spending some of your time with me. Stay steady, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care.